Leaders aren't born, they're chosen. You wake up every morning, you go look in the bathroom and you're like, yeah, I'm a leader in this organization. It's like saying you're good looking. That's not for you to say. That's not for any of us to say. It is for the people around us to say. Everything that you want to see in the most incredible people around you, like all those sparks, all those attributes, all those beautiful things, all these great human capacity that people are able to do, right? How do you pull that away from people? And that's when you start to see organizations say, and that guy right there, that's a leader. Okay, so the Michelangelo effect. So if you've ever seen the statue of David and you've looked at a marble, so everything that we've talked about, like it's like you're coming into a new organization. You have a slab of marble in front of you. Michelangelo was able to do something that no other sculptor was able to do. He was actually able to look inside the marble and see what the marble needed for it to thrive, for it to become what his vision was, right? Because without a vision, people will perish. So as he looks at this slab of marble, he has this ability to look inside of it and say, that's the spark, that's what it needs.
Technically, I'm a college dropout. Someone saw in me a chance that I could be different. They gave me an opportunity to succeed. I just ask that folks pay it forward. Someone inside your organization needs to talk. Talk to them. That might be success. You might be the only person to talk to them today. If you've listened to me talk this long, I hope you hear my voice and you understand that it's important to help others. Help them over your own future promotions.
Coach Alma talked to all of us, all the freshmen, and she was like, it's going to be hard, but she said, you just need to be where your feet are. So you're going to have to do hard things as long as you just stay in the moment. Like you do what they're asking you in that moment, you're going to be fine.
And I would just encourage young leaders that are thinking about how they're going to carry themselves, just be yourself. I think we just need to tell those stories. What I tell people about the Army is there's no shortage of opportunities, and I don't think there's any better place to establish a foundation for excellence in your life than in the Army.
I mean, there's a lot of guys like me that are out here that put it in and did our time, and we're out here looking back at you, and man, we're rooting for you, all of you. And I still care about all those guys that are out there, like lacing their boots up every morning, picking up a gun, and being America's last 100 yards of American foreign policy. If you're going to go out there and do it, man, just know there's a bunch of dudes like me that are proud of you, and we love you, and we want you to be well. And go out there, be safe, but if you can't be safe, be deadly, right? Like, go do your thing. We love you. We were doing the sustainment rehearsal, and you were having a blast. You were like, here's a vignette. And you look at me and you said, I don't know why, but I love sustainment rehearsals. This is like my favorite rehearsal. And I look back at you and said, because this is the only one where all you talk about is how you're going to take care of your people. The most important impact that they have on any organization isn't the training schedule. It's not any of that. It is the culture of that organization. The number one responsibility of any command team is to establish a positive culture.
And what I'm about to say, it's like a blinding flash of the obvious, but it's worth saying. I think we learn more. I certainly did. I certainly learned more from my those first 2 or 3 years worth of NCOs, your first set of squad leaders. If you're fortunate enough, your second set of squad leaders. For me, it was the 4 squad leaders and platoon sergeant I had in 2nd Platoon Alpha Company 275, Black Sheep. The experiences from those staff sergeants firmly laid the foundation for every assignment thereafter. The years, I feel like 2007, maybe 2007 to 2013, that was a moment of tremendous pressure in the operational Army. Well, I've got the best job in the world. Yeah. So we're in an interwar period. We're not in a moment of peace. It's an interwar period because there's another war coming. We don't know when or how or what it'll look like, but it's out there. It's definitely in our future. Any student of history, any student of military history knows, we know very, very well that the nations who do best when they come out of interwar periods, the nations that do best when wars start, are the nations who have invested heavily in their leader development. I think the Army's really onto something when it comes to spiritual readiness. We crave purpose. We crave connection. We crave contribution.
As I think about it, I think that, one of the things I've been saying for a few years now is that every problem in the world, it doesn't matter how small or how large, it requires good leadership. It can be a family problem, a community problem, a world problem. an Army problem, a joint force problem, but it all requires good leadership. The skills that you learn as a leader will, one, make the Army better. It will make the Department of Defense better. It will make America better. But even after your service, the organizations that you belong to and the things that you do still need good leadership. And so it will be something that you can apply for the rest of your life.
I think for a lot of people, when they look at getting out of the Army, it's really scary. And there's a lot of people that aren't going to admit that, but they are fearful. And it's because they don't understand, like, does any of the stuff that I learned transfer over? I don't think it does. There's a ton of stuff that does. And that's kind of why I ended up in the job that I'm in. I love solving problems. I love working in teams. I love working with people from multiple organizations, putting them together to solve a problem. I love pitching ideas and solutions to issues. And I learned how to do all of that in the United States Army. We may not have used the same language that they did, but it's all the same stuff. Anything in the Army, in any organization, can be accomplished with the right culture. I think you could overcome manning problems and equipment issues and crammed schedules if you have the right culture in an organization.
What I want people to know and think is, if there's a problem, if there's a difficulty, if there's a fight, I can call on Williams. He'll be there and he'll be all in. You guys text me, you call me, I'm picking up the phone, I'm taking action. Are you ready to go? Have you gotten enough reps and sets that you're lethal, so when the nation calls you to fight and win our nation's wars, you can provide lethal and ready formations and lead them. Train them, fight them, and win. 90% anticipation, 10% luck. The reps and sets you've had through your career, they generate that context. It's what we do. There's a certain amount of humility and knowing yourself, knowing your unit, but you got to be able to have those conversations. Because at the end of the day, it's about the people and winning, elevating risk, having those dialogues. And I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, but everybody in the 82nd, if you've ever been in the 82nd, you understand you got to do a lot of stuff. And so I think my junior leaders in particular are overwhelmed with the amount of things that we have to do. My message to them is, one, do only the things that you can do. And two, don't try to win this 82nd Airborne Division game. It's an infinite game, right? So all you can do is get up and figure out what can you do for your echelon that needs to get done. And going back to the one thing, what are the three things you need to do during the day? And of the three, what is that one thing that by doing the one thing, the other two happens? You get out of the task-oriented mindset. Like you have to get to know the people you're working with. Do you remember that card I showed you with me in the center and all the things? If I could add to that, based on the last 30 days, I have 3 or 4 different cards. And I can't. We talked to Colonel Taylor down at JRTC. And we got a list of things we need to do. He gave us a list, and everybody's giving us these lists of things to do, and it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, and I'll probably get in trouble saying this. I whittled that list down to 2 things. That's it. And I tell my organization this. I said, when I show up to work every day, I'm going to have fun. When I go to JRTC, I'm going to have fun. That's number 1. And at every moment, I'm going to ask myself, am I doing the right thing in the moment that I'm in, right? Am I having fun? Am I doing the right thing?
Again, I would take it back, full circle back to, this is not a job. This is a profession. It's a profession of arms. It is serious business, right? And you got to love soldiering and have a love for soldiering. The one piece of advice I would give to folks is don't forget to have fun as you go along. And I didn't learn that till much later in my career, right? My wife always teases me. She's like, "You're serious about being serious." I don't know if that's a compliment or a dig, but I know what she means. I had to learn kind of, this is a serious business, but, don't take yourself too serious, right? Don't get lost in your own museum out there doing these things, right? Have fun as you go along, because every job's a gift. At the end of the day, the Army is going to spit us all back out to where we came from, right? We're going to be a little bit older.
That's kind of the culture that you try to create, and I think the number one job of any commander is to create culture in the organization. Because if you have the right attitude, if you have the right culture, you're holding yourself accountable, you're doing the little things right, the results will follow. But if you try to focus just on the results without getting that team right, you're going to find there's something that's kind of undercutting this. It's always a struggle and everything to do.
Remember who you are. We come from a history of warfighters. that have laid a foundation for this organization. And you want to make sure you do not let that fail. You uphold it. We inherited the history of it. We inherited the accomplishments. The streamers, we inherited it. So you do any and everything to uphold that.
Thanks for listening today. I hope we sparked some thoughts about the people that have inspired you to be who you are today. I hope you share some of your thoughts and better yet demonstrate them for the people in your life. Our pursuit is to get a little bit better every day. Progress equals small victories stacked on top of each other, building like compound interest. Keep stacking these positive habits. Habits like getting up early, working your butt off, learning something new, being positive, and surrounding yourself with phenomenal people. Please share your comments at the links in the show notes and DM us at Teach Me to Fish podcast on Instagram or Facebook. Looking forward to our next conversation.
I noticed that our summer trainings, it's mostly for the leadership. So it's for the squad leaders, it's for the first sergeants, the POs, the XOs, the COs. Like, it's for them to develop their leadership style and, like, you to see, like, okay, that doesn't work. I'm not going to do that to my people. One thing that I noticed with the task force, like, we talked to this guy at one of the lanes. I think we asked him, like, what's the best quality you've seen in the PL? And he said, well, you just have to make sure, like, you're going to go to bat for your guys. Like, because if they know that you've got their bag, they're going to have yours. And the LT that was in charge of us, his name was LT Smith, he took his kid in, like, 3rd platoon. He was sleeping, and he didn't have his rifle in his hand. It was just, like, laying next to him. He grabbed the kid's rifle and put, like, a magazine of blanks in it and just started full auto into the sky. And so everybody started freaking out, and they were like, everybody needs to get in the house now! And so then my platoon went into the two-story house, and they're like, if you have ammo, you need to be in a window. And so I was in the window, and I was just shooting at the Op 4, because it was, like, 20 of them. It was just, like, the 101st, like, privates and sergeants and corporals. And they were just coming out from, like, where we'd come. They were coming up the street. So you're, like, shooting at them. It's, like, blanks. So, like, they're just, like, running around doing whatever they want. Everyone's, like, running out of ammo because we didn't know this was going to happen. One of the last kids was this, like, tiny little kid, and he was hip firing. He wasn't even looking down his sights. He was just hip firing at the people. And he started, like, yelling when they started getting close. And then some Op 4 guy, like, came up the stairs. I was upstairs, and he came up the stairs and threw a smoke grenade in the room. He was like, you guys are all dead. You have to get on the floor now. And I was so confused because I was like, who let the Op 4 in the house?